Welcome back to the MediMobile Podcast. In this episode, we're talking about the switch from paper to digital billing. What makes paper billing such a headache? How can practices make the change? And how quickly do the benefits, like fewer errors and faster payments, show up? I'm Emily, a marketing specialist here at MediMobile, and we're joined by our Director of Business Development, Lauren Hall, who will be sharing why going digital isn't just about making life easier for doctors and billing teams, it can even improve the patient experience. Let's dive in. So, Lauren, what do you think the biggest headaches of paper billing are?
So the biggest headache is just keeping up with the bills themselves. When you have providers that are carrying around face sheets with handwritten CPT and diagnosis codes, not only are you running a risk of a serious HIPAA violation, but you're running a very large risk of those papers not getting to where they're supposed to be and that revenue never being collected.
And we would never want that, of course. So, how exactly can a practice go from paper to digital?
So the first step is very easy. Just reach out to us and schedule a demo or a call, and we can discuss that process. But we try to make it as easy as possible for these groups that are changing their workflow drastically, and having an efficient charge capture workflow is key. So your providers don't feel like you're just adding one more thing to their plate. We're actually taking tasks away. They're no longer having to keep up with the paper. You can automatically have your patient list, and then with the added bonus of Genesis, you don't even have to worry about adding those CPT and diagnosis codes. We'll do it for you.
And Lauren, since you mentioned Genesis, could you just give a brief overview of what that is?
Absolutely. So Genesis is our autonomous coding solution. So what we do is we take the notes from your hospital's EMR that are fed to us through an integration, and our AI engine actually adds the CPT and diagnosis codes based off of the documentation within the EMR.
Wow, so that's amazing.
Yeah.
So, once a group makes this transition, how quickly can they start seeing the benefits, like fewer errors or faster reimbursements?
So when we look at groups that go from paper to mobile charge capture, that turnaround is seen within weeks. So the providers see the immediate relief after that transition because they're no longer having to keep up with papers, but also your billing teams are going to see revenue reimbursement quite a bit faster. Everything is electronic, it's moving through the apps. So you're no longer having to wait for somebody to hand key anything. So it's a very fast turnaround. We see it happen in as quickly as a couple of weeks.
Wow, that's absolutely amazing. So, just kind of going off of that, what's the most surprising way that digital billing can make life easier for doctors and billing teams?
Well, I don't know that it's surprising when you look at the different issues we see with paper billing, but just the realization of all the lost revenue. Um, I can't think of a single group we've ever had that has seen revenue drop after transitioning from paper to charge capture. So, one of the things we hear most often from those groups is not only are they seeing an increase in revenue, but it's coming in faster.
Wow.
And that's a lot of what we talk about with some of the benefits of Genesis. Your providers are able to see more patients or spend longer time with their current patients. It's the exact same thing when you're moving from paper to mobile charge capture.
And now that we've kind of touched on those benefits for the users of our application, can digital billing actually improve patient experiences, or is it all about that back-end operation?
So going from paper to charge capture provides your care team with more time to spend with you as a patient because they're not having to fumble around with papers, add their CPT and diagnosis codes while you're sitting right there. So the patients have that undivided attention, again, that we know providers want to give their patients. And then also, you're guaranteed accuracy when you receive that bill. So, the CPT and diagnosis codes that are being added through mobile charge capture, especially utilizing MediMobile's Genesis, are going to ensure that all of the services that you're providing your patients are billed for. So your patients get the advantage of that additional attention while they're sitting there with their providers, but also knowing that the accuracy is there on their billing for the services that were performed.
And that's amazing. So, Lauren, last question. If you had to convince someone still clinging to paper billing, what's your elevator pitch for going digital?
Drop the papers. You don't need to keep up with papers. Let us take care of all of that for you. You don't have to worry about dropping someone's personal information in a hallway. You don't have to worry about getting it to your billers. Everything can be done electronically. Let us save you some time, give time back to your day, reduce the possibility of a HIPAA violation. And most importantly, check out Genesis for the accuracy of that coding. We can do absolutely everything related to the charge capture process. So let us do it while you care for your patients.
That's the best way to put it. Well, thank you everyone so much for tuning into the MediMobile podcast today. We hope this episode gave you a clear picture of why going digital isn't just a smart move, it's a game changer for practices, billing teams, even patients. If you're ready to leave paper billing behind, we're here to help make that transition easy. Reach out to us over email at sales@medimobile.com or schedule a demo directly on our website, medimobile.com. We'll see you next time.
Thank you, Emily.
Of course. Thank you, Lauren.